everybody, this is Michelle with Creative Operation. Thanks for coming to my channel, and I am excited to share with you what I have done with this. This was kind of a project I was trying to use only Tim Holtz products, and I have a folder that is full of Tim Holtz Halloween ephemera. So the actual literal like named Halloween packages that came out a couple years ago, I think. I bought them, didn't use them, and I decided it was time that I dug them out and tried to use some up. So there was a variety of different ephemera packages, paper packages, some 12 by 12, some, some 8 by 8, some were the 6 by 10 papers that he came out with, lots of ephemera bits. And I just went to town trying to figure out how to make a really cool Halloween junk journal. I did it kind of a flip-flop journal style, so it has several different signatures in here. I think there's 4 altogether in this particular one, and it just turned out really awesome. I did use some metal corners out of my stash that I have like no idea where they came from, but I did put those on the corners on the outer pages because I wanted to kind of protect those. And then I also did use this really cool tinted tape that I've had in my stash forever and ever and ever. It's by Vintage Street Market, and I have no idea if they still sell this. I bought this years ago, and I recently kind of rediscovered it in my stash, and I was like, why am I not using this? I have 3 rolls of this kind of yellowed tape, and you can see it does look really old, and when you use it on your projects, it really gives that vintage flair. And then this one here that's kind of all messed up here, here has kind of a brown tint. I don't know if you can see it, but look at that. And it's really a fun tape to use. So I have 1 roll left of that. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get more, but you know what? I got to use it because it's not doing me any good sitting in my stash, right? So I used that throughout. So I put some stuff like in the little corners and then just in random places. And then I used it throughout the book to make some interactions. So I'll show you that. So again, this is all Tim Holtz stuff. I decorated the back cover a little bit with some of the ephemera bits that I just kind of put together. I did staple a few together and then layered the crow and like the skull sticker there. And then here's another piece of that tape here. So it's kind of a real subtle kind of thing. And I used it here too. It's just real subtle, but it's really cool. Made an ephemera pocket here out of bits and pieces, layered some different flowers and stickers and stuff. And then I just used one of the ephemera papers, and then I did go and grab a tag from my stash, and I used some of the ephemera papers on that, and then some seam binding, just created a little tag. Just really something simple. Here, I did do a lot of coffee dyeing lately. I made a lot of coffee dyed papers, so I used those in here. Had some of the Tim Holtz kind of label tape looking stickers that were fun. This was a paper bag that I had got from shopping, and I just cut the end off of the bottom and then folded it over the piece of paper to create a pocket. And so in here I put these lovely ladies who look really super happy, and then this die cut, and then I did do some coffee dyeing of some library cards that I had. So I thought that made a nice pocket area on here, front and back. And then I used the tape. I glued it on the page, but I did use the tape as kind of a accent thing. So again, little picture, another library card, and then this was one of the 6 by 10 papers that I just kind of folded into a little pamphlet style kind of thing to tuck in there. So composition book papers, used some punches from my stash. This was just a leftover piece of pattern paper. I put some blood drippies on there. There's some more pattern papers, lots of those stickers. I made some simple paper clips with strips of paper I had left over, and then I used the die cuts on that. And again, these were from several different paper collections in Halloween, you know, ephemera packs from Tim Holtz, but they're all Tim Holtz. This here is one of the metal pieces. It says Masquerade on there. So that again was by Tim Holtz. And then this here has a little die cut ephemera piece under there. So more pages. I did a simple pamphlet stitch in each of these. There's another piece of that tape just kind of added for accent purposes. And then here I use the tape on both sides to create a flip with one of the ephemera bits. So fun to do. Love this. So just, I'll go through kind of quickly. Here's just a little, when I used some composition book pages that I did cut down a little bit, and on the pieces that I cut down, I just made this kind of staggered little flip up little notepad, and then I thought, well, what else could I do with it? So I just glued it on two sides, added a little bit of the tape here, and then put in another tag and another piece of ephemera behind it. So it's not only a little journal spot, but also a pocket. So then that's the first signature. Then we go to the second signature. Again, a ephemera bit as a pocket, and then I use the tape to accent that. Put the little die cuts in there. And then here is a little mini paper clip from Tim that I put two of the little tiny ephemera bits underneath there. And some of my papers, and then random little die cuts and stickers. Here's just a little tab that I made, and I just had a piece of pattern paper that I just folded, and then I edged punched with my favorite little We Are Memory Keepers scallop, and that made a cute little kind of beveled edge for a tab, and I just glued that down and added the sticker on the one side, or the die cut, I should say, on the one side. Here's just a piece of paper that I just cut out the labels on the side, and then I glued it so you could tuck something underneath there. These were die cuts that I just glued, you know, back to back to make a little tab. Here I made just a really simple little pocket. So I took the 6x10 piece of paper and I cut it into two 5-inch by 6-inch pieces. And then on the 5-inch side, on one of them, I scored it 1, and on the other one, I scored it 2, and I just folded them and stacked them and then glued the sides and made the pocket, and that's all I did. But it made a cute little pocket page. So I could put little ephemera bits and the picture, and then there's another pocket back here. So it's just glued on the sides and down the bottom. I did do the pamphlet stitch, like I said, 3-hole, and I did use some black jewelry thread that I had in my stash, and because I wanted the black since it was a Halloween album. Another little tiny paper clip with some little bits of ephemera in it. And then here's another punch that I had. This is an old Martha Stewart punch that I did, and then I just glued on the sides and the bottom, added some more of Tim's stickers, and then another little piece of paper, and then again more of that tape for accent piece. And then here's one of the pictures, added the little mask on it, and then just put a little piece of tape on there. This piece here is a piece of the pattern paper, and I just fussy cut that out with the Tim Holtz decal paper punch and used the tape to attach it so it's a little flip. And then back here, I took one of the 8x8 papers and just made a simple envelope and put one of my coffee dyed papers in there for a little secret journaling spot, and then used one of the ephemera bits as a closure, so the flap just tucks underneath there, and then behind that, again, more tags. So then you flip it over, here's the back of the book, but then it starts all over again. So on this one, the way that I put it together, made pockets on each side. So I put a picture here and then a picture here. When I glued them, whoops, that one's a little glued too tight. When I glued them down, so I took the 8x8 paper and I scored it at 2 inches. And what that did was created the actual pieces where they can connect. So you can see it a little bit here, but you can see it here. So that's how I connected the pages together, and I used these, except for one of them, as a pocket. So when I glued those two together, I glued it there and on the sides here, and then I put a little glue in the middle so that I could tuck smaller ephemera bits in there. That was super simple to do. And then on this one here, it ended up having a pocket on both sides, so I could tuck one kind of opposite of the other. Here I did a little ephemera bit that I just did as a pocket, and then I put little teeny tiny ephemera bits in there. And then this one here was a little book, and so in that little book I put a little piece of cut up the composition paper that I had left over, and I just lined the inside of it, so that just made a cute little book to put in that little teeny tiny pocket. So I hope that makes sense, but that's how I connected the two papers, okay? And they're all, so like I used, what was it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 papers all together. They were each scored at 2. And then I used that 2-inch flap, and that's how I connected the two pieces together to create the accordion. And that's all I did. So there's some more stickers, and here was another one of the envelopes, and this one I just used it on one side. I just folded it over. I cut the bottom off so it made pocket there, and a pocket there, and then one behind as well. And this one I just glued. I didn't use tape on this one. And this paper is really, that bag was really kind of thin, so I want to be real careful with that. These are just a cluster of ephemera pieces that I just used to decorate that. And then another paper clip and some stuff. Here's some papers, stickers, and then this one here, I just this was in the middle of my pamphlet. I just folded it over, and I did glue it, but I also put tape on it too to look like it was taped, and then created a little pocket, and then just put a little ephemera piece there. So I just, something a little bit different. This guy here could not resist, so put the mask on him and glued him so you could tuck something underneath him, but I just could not resist that. I mean, how could you not, right? So here we got another die cut that I just made into a flip. Here is just a side hidden paper clip that I put on there, and I decorated it with some of the ephemera, and then just put another library card into there for journaling purposes. And then over here, one of my coffee dyed papers that I did, little ledger paper. So that just tucks in there. And then here I used one of the ephemera bits, the ephemera papers, as a belly band. So I glued it, then I added the tape, and then in the belly band, library pocket, a tag, a simple tag, and then the other half of that piece of paper, I just used that to kind of tuck under here. It's a little bit tight still, but that's okay. It won't fall out, right? And then we got our last signature. So again, you know, this is the connection right here, and I glued it in the middle so that it was a little tighter for the smaller ephemera pieces that I wanted to put in there. Okay, added this across the middle because I wanted to, and then it says owl cigar, so I put the owl on there too. Got this. Here's another paper clip that I made, and then again, this is another one of the metal bits. It says spooky, and then this was one of the ephemera bits here. There's a couple different Halloween collections that I did use from. So there's that page. Love the coffee dyed papers. Here's another one of those little stacked pockets that I just created. And again, they have 4 little pockets that you can tuck all kinds of little things in there. So I like that. I thought that was fun. Lots of journaling space here. Lots and lots of journaling space. This one was fun. Okay, so you guys, I got one of those plastic coffins, and I wish I had one to show you right now, from the Dollar Tree a couple years ago. And then what I ended up doing with it, and I'm trying to grab my patterns here, is I traced the first one, and I just kind of made like a pattern out of it. And then I went around with... I have these things that like roll around the edge with a pencil, and you can mat things with it. And I just kind of kept going and kept going. So I have like all of these patterns of coffin shapes that layer into each other. Okay. So I took the first 2 that I had because they fit in the book. And what I ended up doing was I stapled them together at the top and then made like a little flip on this page. And then I'm using the paper clip, just a real simple paper clip to keep it closed because it was going to kind of flop around, but then I also wanted a paper clip. So that's what I did with that. But it was funny because I just wanted to show you, I mean, it's just amazing what you can do with, you know, an idea that you get at the dollar store of all things. So I just traced the shape of the lid and then just kept going bigger, 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 and got all of these shapes. So I could do something really cool with this. And that's kind of one of the first things I've done with it. I did this last year, and I haven't really done a whole lot with it. But I have the pattern. So, you know, it was really easy to just put it on the piece of paper and trace it and put it together. So I thought that was kind of a fun idea. Let's see, I use those little things as like a little tab here. And there's that. And then this last page here, again, I did glue in the middle to create a place for my ephemera bits, and they will stay in nice and tight. Oops, can't get them out. So, I did that. And then I couldn't resist her either, so I put her on here. I gave her a mask and then Mischief right here. So, you know, I like her. And then when you turn it, you're back to the beginning. So then to tie it all together, because this thing is going to be floppy, I just had this great big piece of black ribbon in my stash, and I'm just going to wrap that around and somewhat get it in the center and then tie it in a bow, and that will keep everything all nice and tidy for this journal. So that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. Just a really cute journal. I hope it makes sense. If you have any questions about how I put it together, please let me know. But that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. So I thank you for watching. I hope this inspires you, and I will see you again soon with more fun things. So stay crafty, have a great night, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.